Mm. Yeah. Mm.
Hey y'all, welcome back. So we are going to be doing our makeup. We're going out for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. So we're going to do our makeup while we talk about the part 2 reunion of Ready to Love Potomac, okay? And we're going to do something pretty quick because I gotta get moving, so I can't take too much time. So I'm just gonna, for me, it's kind of like primer and setter all in one, and set and spray all in one. It's kind of how I use it. Okay. So of course, you know, they started off the reunion, part 2 anyway. If you missed part 1, they ended it talking about that situation between the girls where they were conspiring to break up the couples, and they were saying that Carmen was the mastermind. I believe there's some truth to that. Seems like that's something she would do. And they were saying Carmen was the mastermind. She called and said that I think she felt threatened by some of those couples and she wanted to get rid of them. Of course, but you know, Carmen's on there and she is denying that that's what happened. She denying that's what happened, that she said that, and she said she had receipts. I guess she didn't get to pull them forth, but she did say she had receipts. All right, now we're just doing a little color correcting right under the eye. She did say she had some receipts. And we're going to go right above the eye a little bit too. Okay. And y'all, I do have some notes beside me to keep me on task, because when I'm doing my makeup, I'm usually not talking. So this is interesting. Okay. And it just corrected me a little bit under the eye. Just a little bit. That's usually the only place I put it. That's the only place I really feel like it is needed or beneficial for me anyway. Okay. Then we're gonna go in a little foundation. Okay, so then they went into talking about Demetrius, and Tommy says, of course, that he asked him how many suits he has, and Demetrius says he has over 200 suits. So, and I'm using some Juvia's Place foundation, and I don't use a whole lot of foundation, y'all. Just a little bit. The nose, and then the forehead, just a little bit. I don't like too much going on. Okay. And in the first reunion, they did talk about how, you know, Sabrina kind of went from the Tory, you know, to really feeling Tory, into now she was feeling Demetrius. And she said, you know, it's just that he exudes this confidence. It's something about him. He's really quiet, but it's like a strong strength, you know, quiet strength or something like that. And I think, and I like Tori, don't get me wrong, I like Tori, but I feel like because Sabrina had such a strong personality, I don't know if he, you know, would have been right for her. I don't know. I don't know. That probably would have been, you know, I mean, it might have been perfect for her in the fact that he seemed like he'll be a little more accommodating to, you know, whatever, you know, she wants to do type of thing, versus Demetrius. Now, I didn't dislike Demetrius, but I think because he was so quiet, you could never really get a good grasp of what he's feeling or what he's thinking, or And for me, and I guess I get what she was saying at one point on the show, for me, it's like he really didn't try to take his time to show her how, for what we could see anyway. Ain't no telling, because of course you find out that they have calls outside of the show. They talk to each other outside of the show, stuff that's not filmed. So I'm like, maybe he did show her a little more interest, and he, but was a little more aggressive with his pursuit of her off camera. And that's what we didn't see, so I'm like, it could be possible. And that's just a single layer of our foundation there. But I don't know, something about her. I needed him to show a little more interest for me. And then I think she said the perfect thing when she said, and I know I wrote it down. She said that he is a not gonna sweat you type of guy. I'ma let you. And I'm like, not on this show. I need to know that you all in, that you are, buying for my attention, that you are interested. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to be guessing. Now, maybe out there in the normal world and stuff, but I don't want to be guessing. So for me, I needed him just to do a little more. But I'm not Sabrina. Okay. So we got us some foundation on. And I guess too, somebody was saying something about they felt like he was a player. I don't get player energy from Demetrius though. I don't know. I just get calm, collected, smooth, as they kept saying. Calm, collected, smooth. So I didn't get no player vibes from him, which is a good thing. Seemed like he's just a cool, genuine guy. But he's one of those guys where he ain't gonna do too much. He's not gonna do too much. If you wanting somebody who's gonna do a lot and they gonna show you that, he ain't it. He just ain't it. And it's just, I don't think. And this is the it's dirty, y'all. This is the e.l.f. camo 16-hour camo concealer, the matte. And what color I got this in? And deep chestnut. Okay, that's just. And y'all don't come for me, because let me tell you, I do my makeup how I do, what works for me. I don't highlight all them different parts of my face. Just not my thing. But when I say these girls be out here doing it and it looks good, I love it. I love it on them. But when I highlight all them parts of my face, I feel like I look a little funny. So I do what works for me, okay? So then Sabrina was saying that they did try to see if they can continue the relationship off camera after the fact, but they just decided just to be friends, which again, I think because he has such a quiet but strong personality, and she has a strong personality, not so much quiet, but she has a very strong personality. I don't know if that would have worked for them anyway. But they were definitely cute. And like I said, I even thought her and Tori was cute as well. But like I said, Tori just didn't speak up enough. He didn't speak up enough. He didn't, for her, she is looking for a guy with a strong presence. And Tori just doesn't have a strong presence. And not that that's a bad thing or anything, not that that's a bad thing, but, for a woman who needs that, yeah, look at that. We blended nicely. For a woman who needs that, Tori maybe, he may play the background a little too much, or, not be forward and aggressive enough at times. Oh yeah. Okay, so we didn't highlight. Like I said, that's the only highlighting I do, because that's just what works for me. That's all I'ma do. So, let's see where we at. Look at me like I'm reading my notes, because this is it, so I can stay on task, honey. We'll be sitting here forever with me trying to do makeup and listen. So then they went into talking about Paul's connections. So, and then talking about his different connections throughout the show. He did at the very end, him and Dakia had this a little connection that kind of sparked late in the show, which not a bad thing. We're gonna do a little, and don't listen, don't judge me, judge your mama. It's a little dirty, but this is our we're gonna do a little contour, just a little. We won't do a whole lot, because like I said, sometimes when I do too much, I don't even know how to bring it back. I'm just like, yeah, I did too much. So right there a little bit, and do a few across the forehead, and then I just do a little bit down the nose, not a lot. As you see, just a little bit. Okay. So, and at the end, him and Dakia chose themselves, which I think they should have. I think they didn't have enough time to really cultivate a genuine connection to really figure out if that is something that would work, or if it's something they really want. I think it was kind of late in the game for them. So I think it was a good idea that they decided just to kind of, choose themselves at that point. I thought it was smart of both of them. So now then, of course, they get into the part again where Carmen, when she's feeling away, and she did admit on, and I was like, come through, girl. She did admit that she was feeling away. That's why she did bring up what Paul supposedly said. We don't know if Paul said that he wants somebody he's attracted to, and he wants somebody that he looks at and he's just immediately attracted to, and, in regards to Dakia. Now, Paul says that he didn't say it in that way. Now, he did kind of go around the mulberry bush with that, because I'm like, okay, so did you say that, or did you say something to that extent, or is this just something she made up altogether? Or is this just something she made up all together? So, he never really confirmed that for me, but I do believe that maybe she added on a little bit of her own twist to it. I can believe that. And then we're just gonna go up our nose really quick. Okay. I do believe that she added on a little bit of her own little flair to that, to whatever she's saying he told her. So, and my thing, I think Dakia is gorgeous. I think she is beautiful. Now, standing beside Carmen, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't personally think that she's that naturally pretty. I just think as a package, don't get me wrong, the Carmen bad, body is bad. But as far as just being naturally pretty in the face, for me, it's a no for me personally. It's just a no for me. But as far as comparing them to women, you got Carmen over here, who she's very forthcoming in that she likes to show her body. She likes to wear things that are a little more revealing. She likes to show a little more skin. Dakia is just more on the classy, reserved side, but still sexy. And I love that about Dakia. Very professional, very sexy, and that's why I feel like, whatever man she do end up with, got him a good catch. I like Dakia. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a little. And this is our Sasha Buttercup. We about to have to get some more of this out there. This is what happens when you have daughters that sometimes are using your makeup, and then you don't even realize you that low until you're ready to use it. Yeah, so have to put some more of that in the cart. Alright, so we're going up under there. Alright, put a little little bit more of that in the cart. But yeah, I'm telling you, I be like, they just use my stuff. Use my stuff and don't tell me nothing. I get ready to use it and I'm scrambling for scraps. Try to hide it. Eventually they find it. Oh, okay. But okay, then of course the kid goes into saying that, you know, that she has found love. She has a boyfriend now. We like, okay then, the kid, she got a boyfriend now. All that good stuff. Paul say he's got, what did he say? I wrote that down. He has a nice dime shorty. We don't know what that means, but I do feel like he wants a lady who he can show off while he in public. So I'm taking it she's probably a little bit more on the Carmen side. She's probably, you know, she probably, you know, shows a lot of skin. Nothing wrong with that, but I just think that's what Paul like. Let's see here. So then they go into talking about Tina and her disappearing acts. Now Tina says that she did a lot of disappearing. She ended up, you know, because she just didn't feel like she had a good connection with any of the guys on the show. And for me, I feel like, you know, I can agree, but I feel like she didn't really give it a fair chance to really see. As far as with Donovan, and then her other connection, she had a little connection there with Demetrius. I just feel like she didn't give it a fair shake. She also had one with Paul too. So I guess for her, from what she was saying is that she didn't feel a spark. It was no spark there for her. She didn't feel nothing special. So for her, she felt like she was wasting her time. It's like, okay, you know, if I'm gonna do the date and I want to just go out there and I just want to automatically feel some kind of like, you know, we ain't got there yet, but Joy and Clifton. It was just immediate. It was on site. It was immediate. I like him. You know, I'm like, oh, he is it. You know, type of thing. I guess she was looking for that. They don't have it for everybody. But I'm guessing that's what she was looking for. Now you could have. If you would have saw when she did show back up at the house, you know, right on the day they were leaving, if you looked at Carmen's face, honey, Carmen like, what's she doing here? Cause me and Donovan done been, listen, what's she here for? What she think she coming to shake up what's going on? Me and Donovan done moved forward. And now, you know, my thoughts about her and Donovan, they look like they were still together. They holding hands on the stage, all that good stuff. But my personal thoughts, I feel like it's a lust thing. I don't see that lasting for too long. And we're going to go in with our brows, guys. Y'all, you have to, I got to kind of work on those. I don't see that lasting for too long at all. I really, really don't. I just feel like it was a lust thing for Donovan. And then, of course, I think, you know, production wanted us to know that Phil was his best friend. So, yeah, okay, Brow, come through, Brow. But, you know, that Phil was his best friend. And so, you know, then you started to wonder, you know, is he really looking for love, or he wanted to kind of give it a try? You know, did maybe he see the love with Phil? And you want to say last time I looked that Phil and Sydney didn't work out, you know. Not to say that they didn't give it a fair shake after the show. I don't know. But it looks like they didn't work out. So, let's see. Let's get that other brown there, y'all. And remember, brows are sisters, not twins. I have to tell myself that, because I've been like, trying to get them to look as close to each other as possible, as close as we can get them. Not bad. We'll take it. Not bad. So let's see. Where was I? Okay. All right. Then Tina goes into saying how Paul wanted her to self-eliminate with himself. Now that was something I'm like, that's interesting, because we hadn't heard a thing about that prior. But I guess Paul was that into her that he wanted her to self-eliminate, so that way he can just, I don't know if he was going to try to get eliminated or he was going to self-eliminate as well, so they can just go ahead and see what their connection is outside of the show. But she called Paul a liar, talking about he's there, something to do with a book. Now Paul said he has no idea what she's talking about. He don't know where she get it from. Now all I'm gonna say is that if it is some truth to it and a book comes out, we gonna know something. We gonna know something. If a book comes out, we gonna know something. So I'm like, hey, don't sit there and say you don't know what the girl talking about, and then you know you got a book release coming and you know a book about to be released. You know something. So hopefully he don't have no book that's going to come out and possibly make him look like he was telling that she was telling the truth, that he was on there something to do with the book. So we got our the Nubian by Juvia's Place. Just gonna put a little we're just going with a nude color today. Gonna put it on our lid. Just gonna put a little eyeshadow on the lid, baby. Okay. And we're just going in with what color? Yeah, this color right here. And it's just a brown. Okay. And on my eyelids, it's barely visible, but it just gives me a nice brown palette just to add it to. And y'all don't talk about this. Listen, this has been with me forever. This came from Sephora. I use the mirror of this when I do my makeup. I've been using this for years. It's ridiculous. This was like one of my probably the first palettes that I got ever when I started wanting to get into and do makeup a little bit. So this is Sephora, but I use it mostly for a mirror. It's got a huge good mirror on it that I still hold on to. Half of the shadows are gone, they broke out of it and everything, but we're gonna roll with it because it works. It works. Okay, so let's see. All right, so then let's see. So then, of course, then they talk about Tina's connections. So then, of course, it comes out that she called Demetrius Paul a few times. So it must have been something there with Paul. She calling Demetrius Paul, and Demetrius, you know, I guess he said it the first time. He was like, okay. Second time, he was like, I'm like, so you must have felt something if you calling Demetrius Paul's name while y'all on the dates. But she said that she felt nothing. She didn't feel a spark. She must feel something because that man's name was on her tongue. So she felt something. I don't know what that was, but she felt something. So I thought that was interesting. And then we go into Precious. So they're talking about Precious and her different connections. And of course she got eliminated the night Demetrius was the one who spoke up about her elimination, saying that she seemed like a party girl, that she's still looking to be social and she wants to be a socialite and she wants to socialize. So she became very defensive about that. She felt like her whole elimination had to do with Demetrius and his outlook and view of her. And he's like, so you think that I have the power to eliminate you by myself? Okay, y'all, so I'm doing a little liner. Now this is my magnetic liner because I normally wear magnetic lashes. And of course I'm making a mess. And it's just, you know, my preference is just a preference thing. I just prefer magnetic lashes for myself. Okay, so let's see. So of course, you know, Precious gets very upset. She gets really upset, emotional about, you know, Demetrius saying it and feeling like, you know, he's the reason that she was eliminated. And then Demetrius, you know, he hasn't And she kind of, ends up storming out. But now Demetrius hasn't said a whole lot. He's still just, that man who just kind of sits back. And for some reason, he starts to kind of go back and forth with Precious. Why her, I don't know. Why all of a sudden he felt the need to speak up. Maybe because, she was being a little loud and a little aggressive at the moment. But I was like, I hadn't seen Demetrius do that much talking the whole season. And he, for some reason, he ready to come at her, and she like, I'm done talking. He was like, I don't care, don't hurt my feelings. I'm like, ooh, okay, well, so I thought that was interesting. I'm like, why did he? I don't know. For some reason, it seemed like he kind of spoke up and wanted to come for her, which was weird. But of course, I agree with Demetrius that, of course, if she got eliminated, that does mean that the other guys, not so much saying that they eliminated her too, because they felt the same way about the fact that she wanted to be a socialite and she wanted to continue having a social life. But I do believe that they eliminated her because obviously there was something that either wasn't there that they was looking for or that they wanted, or obviously there was something that was there that, again, they didn't want. That wasn't what they were looking for. So her elimination is on the guys as a whole, honestly. So then we get into Clifton and Dakia's connection. So then, they're on the stage and you got Dakia. She's sitting there and she's saying that all she wanted the whole time was to know, and we're going to put on our blush. I don't know, I'm trying to show y'all, this is all scratched up. So this is Black Radiance. It is the Artesian Color Baked Blush. Y'all, I can't even tell you what color this is. It ain't it's gone at this point. But I love this color for my blush. And let's see. But the key is saying that all she wanted was the courtesy of knowing when he had made his decision. So she's not just sitting in the wind, still thinking that there's something, that there could be something. And then you have Clifton saying, that he felt like it was apparent and there was no need. And let's see. He felt like it was apparent and there was no need for there to be, a sit down, or him saying, hey, he felt like it was apparent. And then you have Joy, who I hadn't really seen her get upset all season or anything, but I did find it, I was kind of, like, what's going on, when as soon as the clip ended, she started laughing. And I'm like, what's the laughing about? I thought it was kind of weird because, of course, the clip ended with Dakia in tears. So I'm like, why is Joy laughing? Like, that's weird. That's interesting. So then come to find out that I guess Joy is upset that Dakia, has made something seem a certain way, and she's just been tired of the narrative. Now Joy says that Dakia was just delusional, that there was never a connection there. I guess in her opinion, Clifton was never going to pick her. It was never anything there. Now, that wasn't the words of Clifton. Now, Clifton didn't say that, but Dakia is saying that Dakia was delusional in thinking that something was happening, because her and Clifton had chose each other all along. So then, Dakia does end up in tears again because, and she's like, and you said something about you was going to take my man from me. And I don't know, maybe there was an edited part. I didn't see that. Didn't hear Dakia ever say anything like that. Don't seem like Dakia would be the person to say something like that. I could be wrong, I could be wrong, but it don't seem like she would be the person to say something like that. But that's what Joy said she overheard. And the kid said, okay, well, that's taken out of context. That's not what I said. That's not how I said it. So I'm like, okay, maybe she did say something to the effect. And Joy didn't like it. Brush it down our nose a little bit, guys. Just put that little bit of that color back into our face. Okay. Don't do too much now. Put the color back into our face. So then she's like, so then Dakia, it's kind of got a little tears a little bit, and she gets a little emotional, and she's just like, we'll agree to disagree. But I do feel like she said, she wasn't heartbroken. I don't believe she was heartbroken because I don't think they had gotten to that place where she would have been heartbroken. But I do believe that she had a true connection with Clifton. And I think that she's hurt that that obviously maybe that connection wasn't as strong as she thought on his part. Because obviously maybe he told Joy something in their private time that, that he liked her, but it wasn't on that level. So it was kind of hard to see that. It was like, she kind of went through the motions with a lot of different guys and none of it panned out for her. So they did talk about that for a little bit. Then they go into talking about Wiley's connections. I didn't really care at all about Wiley and his connections. Nothing against Wiley, but he left so early in the season. So we find out that he's still kind of talking to Tiffany a little bit. She left so early in the season as well. He's still talking to Tiffany a little bit off and on. Now he does say that, what was her name? Keena. That Keena, he was like, so you kind of brushed me off as soon as I said my age. You kind of no longer was interested, but you watching my IG stories. He like, yeah, I see you watching my IG stories, but you got up and walked away at my age. So why you looking at me? Why you following me? What's that about? And she like, I ain't been watching. She said, well, this ain't you. Don't worry about it. I won't be watching you no more. So yeah, she watching them. So I don't know what that was about, but he's saying that she been watching his stories. Let's see here. So of course they were talking about that. All right. So then they go into Clifton and Joy's chemistry. So Clifton and Joy, and we're gonna put on our lashes real quick. Let's see, y'all, and I just have a favorite pair. And like I said, I wear magnetics. It's just my lash of choice. We're gonna put our lashes on real fast. Okay. So they go into Clifton and Joy. They kind of save them for last, of course, because they were that couple. They were that couple that everybody was like, oh, they're so cute. And I love them together. I do. I totally love them together. Clifton and Joy. Yeah, I totally love them together, Clifton and Joy. And I guess Joy is she's in Mexico right now. She's a singer. So I don't know, I've been trying to figure out what kind of work she does. She's a singer, so I guess she sings in Mexico. I don't know. But then they go into talking about, I guess he's been going every other weekend to see her. I'm gonna put on that other lash real quick. He goes every other weekend to see her. He's flying out to Mexico. I know that's right. And he just seems so genuine about her. Like, he loved that woman. He says she is the woman of his dreams. And I believe him. And that's a nice looking man. That's a nice looking man. That man is, he's very straightforward. He seems so honest and so genuine. And I hope he is. I hope he is what he comes off to be. So we done popped on our lashes, y'all. Okay. We done popped on our lashes. And like I said, the magnetic. The magnetics, baby. They don't go nowhere. They go nowhere. Okay. So he said, then also she said that she's thinking about taking off some work because they planning on starting a family, baby. They said they already planning for a March, baby. I guess that would be March 2023. So they said, what they waiting on? Not a thing. Not a thing. They ain't waiting on a thing. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in. Like I said, we started with it as a primer. We're gonna end with it as a setting spray. Why not? Okay, so okay. So it's a setting spray. Now sometimes I do go in, and do I even have I go in and just kind of give my brows a little brush. I don't have that brush. Probably one of the girls probably had that too. And then sometimes I go under and I do a black line just to kind of make my eyes pop. But that's not something I do all the time. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Let's see. Thinking about doing a red lip. So I'm just gonna do a brown liner. So then of course Clifton ends up getting down on one knee, you know, and we all like, wait a minute, what are you about to do? Wait a minute, what are you about to do? So Clifton gets down on one knee. We're like, okay, is he about to pop the question? You know, because they done been in it from the beginning. They done been in it to win it from the beginning. So I'm here for it. I'm like, if that's where they at and they ready to move to the next step, I'm ready. And we didn't highlight, guys. Again, our highlighter is the Juvia's Place. Hope y'all can see that. It's the Juvia's Place. It is, which one is it? I can't remember, y'all. I'm be honest, a lot of my makeup I've had for a while. The Royalty One is the one I use. Get that blush out of this one. He says, he gets down on one knee. Everybody's looking like, what's going on? What's in that box? What's going on? And he says, you know, will you come home? So he has a key in the box. And he wants her to come on home. You know, he wants to start their family, go ahead and start their life together. I thought it was such a cute gesture. And then of course, you know, Tommy said, and I'm like, I agree. Tommy said, that's the front door key, not the back door key. I know that's right. He said he want his woman home. So we're going to go in. As you see, I kind of lightly lay it there. Then I go through and I kind of brush it into the skin. Okay. And then we go in and I kind of dust it off a little bit because I don't want to do too much. Put a little bit here. So that's kind of how the reunion ends. The reunion ends with him, you know, him proposing with a key for her to come home. Joy, come on home. Okay. And as I said, you know, I'm trying to think if I want to do a pop of red. So my daughter got me these for Mother's Day because she saw me looking at them. And she's so thoughtful. Okay, so my middle daughter actually did. So this is the NYX in Cold Brew. So this is like a really, really pretty brown color. Y'all can't wait to wear this one. So that's in Cold Brew. Then we have the NYX. So these are the NYX Suede lipsticks, okay? And this is in Spicy. So this is that red that I was looking at. Okay. And then we have Sweet Tooth. So this is like a pink, a fuchsia pink. Okay, and that's gonna pop against the melanin. You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? Okay. So I appreciate her for that. She's so sweet. And she doesn't, you know, she isn't even at an age to work yet. She's turning 15. So she used a little bit of her chore money to get mama some lipsticks, and I appreciate her. It's so sweet. But yeah, so let's see here. We're gonna do our lipstick, y'all, so I can get out of here because like I told you, I was supposed to already been ready when the mister got home, honey. And I wasn't, but he's so great that he was like, hey, do what you need to do. Okay, so let me go ahead and put it. He was like, do what you need to do. And I appreciate him for that. So now I'm just wondering about when's the next season starting of Ready to Love. and wondering where it's gonna be located and who are gonna be the people. So I'm sure they're gonna release something soon. Okay, y'all. So let's see what this is like. Take some of this lip gloss off and see. See how nice this red is on me. And it's suede, so it isn't super drying. And then, of course, too, I love that it makes some teeth look even whiter. So, hey, girl. So yeah, that's gorgeous. Okay, so that is our face. After that, of course, we're gonna just move into hair, get my clothes on, things like that. And so I'll definitely try to insert a picture of, and I do usually have to go back and I use a washcloth and clean off my actual nose ring to get the little bit of makeup off of that. But I'm going to try to come back and insert a picture of, you know, the full face with the hair, all that good stuff. So I plan to try to insert a picture of that. But thank y'all for tuning in. Comment, like, subscribe, you know, give me y'all's feedback. What did y'all feel about the reunion? Part 2. Part 1, if you want to talk about that as well. Stay tuned. I'm going to have more reviews, whether that's more reviews where we sit down and talk about it, whether that's TV shows, whether that's different things that's going on while we do our makeup, boo. Okay, so comment, like, subscribe, share the video, and y'all have a wonderful Mother's Day. Okay, y'all stay safe out there. See y'all next time.